Hello, I'm Rob Miller and I'm an Associate Professor in the Department of Information Studies here at UCL. My background's in mathematics, logic and computer science, and my research is in the general area of artificial intelligence, or AI as it's usually referred to. And more specifically, I'm interested in logic-based approaches to AI, such as logic programming and logic-based knowledge representation, and developing logic-based models of causal reasoning, reasoning about actions and change, and common sense reasoning. I very much welcome conversations about any of those topics with any students in the department, and particularly if you're considering doing a dissertation in these areas. Now, I've been at UCL for many years, and I've had a number of roles within the department during that time. But right now, I'm enjoying my role as Program Director of the MSc in Knowledge, Information and Data Science, or KIDS for short. And the KIDS degree program, it's a cutting-edge mix of knowledge engineering, information science and data science. And you can find out all about it, more about it, by visiting the department's webpage. Now, I'm currently teaching 3 modules, all of which are available to all postgraduates in the department if space and timetabling allows. And I'll finish off this video just by very briefly talking about each of those modules. But if you want to find out more about them, then do check out the longer videos that we've made on the Moodle pages for each of those modules. So one of the modules that I'm teaching in term 1 is the module INST 0012, Database Theory and Practice. And that's core for the KIDS program. And it's optional for the other programs in the department, the other postgraduate departments in the programs, DH, LIS, ARM, and PUB. Now, this database module, is about 2 things, really. The first half is about conceptual modeling for relational database design. So this is standard industry practice in modeling, in finding out users' needs for relational databases. It's going to cover roughly the first 5 weeks of the module. We'll be looking at what are called ER, entity relationship, and UML diagrams. And it's important to cover this material because relational databases are still the most common type of database used by most organizations. So that's the first half of the module. And the second half of the module is going to be more practical. It's going to be looking at implementation and manipulation of databases using SQL, the standard query language for relational databases. We'll do that in a very practical way. You'll be given individual MySQL accounts provided by the college in order that you build and test a fully functional relational database. So you can find out more information about this module by checking out the longer video, introductory video on the Moodle page for INST 0012. The second module that I'm teaching in term 1 is INST 0072, Logic and Knowledge Representation. And again, that's core for the KIDS program and optional for the other postgraduate programs in the department. Now, INST 0072 is, again, about 2 things, really. Classical logic. So that is the standard logic developed and studied by philosophers, mathematicians, and computer scientists for hundreds of years. It's a foundational subject for computer scientists and for AI researchers. So it's important for everybody involved in knowledge representation and information science to know about logic. And then the module is also about the programming language Prolog. Now, Prolog is a standard AI programming language for research and also used by cutting-edge industry. For example, NASA use it on the space station. IBM used it in their famous Watson system. And so it's important to know about both logic and Prolog if you want to know about AI. And the module will also examine the relationship between classical logic and Prolog. So the relationship between those two things, which is important but not entirely straightforward. So that's my two modules in term one. And in term two, I'm going to co-teach a module called Models of Human Reasoning. And that's co-taught with Antonis Bikakis, and that's optional for all the programs in the department. This module follows on from the Logic and Knowledge Representation module in term one. So INT 0072 is a prerequisite for this module. It continues to look at logic a little bit more deeply and its role in knowledge representation. And then we go on in the first half of the module to look at answer set programming. Now, answer set programming is a new logic programming technology, and it's currently at the forefront of AI research. And we'll be learning that in a very practical way using the Tasco ASP system that's available on the web. So that's the first half that I'm teaching of INT 074. And then the second half, in the second half of the term, Antonis takes over and he will teach about argumentation or automated argumentation. And that's concerned with developing formal and computationally feasible models of human reasoning, persuasion and decision making. And again, this is a hot topic in AI currently. So that's a small summary of the three modules that I'm involved in teaching this academic year. Do please, if you're interested in taking any of these modules, do please check out the longer videos on the departmental Moodle pages. Okay, thanks for listening.